A child got bitten by a monkey at a haunted house run by a stripper dating a football coach. But the good news is he was wearing a mask.
2 bald eagles got into a street fight, proving that they are still the perfect bird representing the USA.
A bear in Colorado went doo-doo in a car, and some SpaceX astronauts pooped in their diapers. Finally, some stories about doo-doo, not only Joe Biden.
1/3 of millennials now identify as gay or trans, unlike Gen Z, who says fractions are racist.
And hold your breath. We're going to do a deep dive into some leftist memes.
All this and more?
The Bee Weekly.
So that rich, beautiful voice that you heard.
Well, they saw him. It's a video.
Well, some people aren't on the video.
True, yeah, you might be on audio.
Rich and beautiful, like this tea.
Yeah. Drinking tea. This is AlfonZo Rachel. We share the unique trait of being a man with a woman last name. My last name's Nicole. Your last name's Rachel.
Mine is man.
Nicole and Rachel. Yeah, man. Balancing it out.
Can't beat that, man. And you know, I didn't even. I wasn't trying to make a pun, man. Dang it.
So Alfonzo's here. He's joined us, and I mean, I used to watch your YouTube videos when you exploded onto the scene back in the days of, I think it was McCain Palin. Was that like MySpace days? I'm trying to remember, like,
that's right, man. Going back
from
to
your perspective, what happened there?
Man, that sucks, man. That my fame is kind of tied to McCain. I want to do a takeover, man. Do it over. Mulligan on that one, man. Yeah, back in MySpace days, man. I've dated myself for real.
Can we go find your old MySpace? We should go look at your old MySpace.
No, man, they're gone.
I know they lost the server or
MySpace
something. You
gone.
can't go find all your old embarrassing pictures and song lyrics, which is
that's right, man.
Very sad.
My stuff is got. The only way people find it is like the way they say when they found like the Dead Sea Scrolls or something like that. They might find it by accident on the internet or something like that.
So what would you like title yourself as I mean, you're a YouTuber, like a guy that rants on YouTube?
I just narrowed down to a multimedia.
Okay.
You know, it's like I try to, jack of, many artistic trades and master of none.
You're a hardcore vocalist, I think.
I'm a drummer.
Well, a drummer. That's right.
I try to carry a tune, but I try to carry, but primarily I'm a drummer.
Okay.
And I do play some guitar, I play bass. I'm the principal songwriter in my music project, 20 Pound Sledge, which is now Sledge X.
Okay.
But yeah, music is one of those things that I kind of dig doing.
Cool.
artist formerly known as 20 Pound Sledge.
Oh man, you went there. Okay.
I'm just, I don't know. Well, we're going to get to know your singing skills shortly here.
Where can people find you, just in case we forget to ask later?
Oh, thanks, man. I'm at bronzeserpentmedia.com.
Bronze Serpent.
Just think John 3:14 through 16.
Okay.
Look up at the serpent.
Okay.
Aaron, wilderness, step,
Yeah.
Bible.
That's right. I have to point that out because some people be like, aren't you a Christian? How come you associate your production company with a snake and stuff like that? What kind of Christian are you? I'm like, you didn't read that. Okay.
There's a good snake in the Bible.
It's a good snake. That's right. A friendly snake.
For the audio listeners, he just gave a look that could be described as say what? Maybe.
The say what look. It's a look. It's a real thing.
So we got some comments recently on our YouTube videos and such.
Yeah, we interviewed Eric Metaxas, and the title is atheism, or atheism is dead. Provocative, and as expected, a large amount of atheists showed up in the comments.
Was it atheism is dead, or did we say is
Why
atheism?
is dead.
Why atheism is
so
dead?
we
made
just
it more
straight up said it.
provocative because his book is Atheism Dead? And we went, why it is dead. And then we hardly talked about it in the actual episode. Yeah, I saw some very angry people who are like, I watched the whole thing, now they talked about atheism.
So this guy whose name is Who Asked says, me, I sure do love being an atheist. Sees title. Oh, dies. That's good.
This guy named Bill says, I'm an atheist and I love Babylon Bee. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Bill.
Hi,
Bill.
Bill. Right on.
You're dead.
Yeah, you're dead.
They kind
Our
of say
condolences.
like that's news. Like is atheism dead, or it's like a new question? Man, it's always been dead to me.
I mean, it's kinda,
People showing us like this: the walking atheist dead. They came back to life, or whichever. Here we are.
getting deep.
Quite interesting.
Some rando. Want to read what some rando has to say?
I mean, I'm pretty right wing, but I still don't think God is real.
Crazy.
And got the smiley face with the happy
tears.
Yeah, with tears.
Laughing with tears.
The boomer laughing.
The boomer
You're
giveaway.
not supposed to use that, yes.
Skull or something.
Jack says, who has a My Little Pony avatar, by the way.
Okay.
If both God and atheism are dead, that makes God an atheist.
No, don't.
Checkmate people who think inanimate concepts can be alive or dead. I can't follow the logic.
You got me.
Got me. You checkmated me.
And finally, Mike says atheism isn't dead. We are just tired of arguing the obvious.
Owned.
And he tipped his fedora.
Destroyed. Can we get it? We need an official Babylon Bee fedora in here that we can like.
Yeah, when you read one, pop it on.
Bettina, get the fedora for us.
Yeah, put an order in.
Hey, keep watching our show because we've got Bo Snerdley coming up on an interview show. This is on Monday for paying subscribers, on Tuesday for poor people, and it was an awesome.
That's cool. It was a really fun conversation.
Executive producer of the Rush Limbaugh Show, if you guys don't know that, and he was awesome. Mm-hmm. Got a little deep. Told us all the behind-the-scenes stories about Rush.
Funny, we told him to tell us cool stories, and he delivered.
He delivered, indeed. Hey, we've got a subscriber there today. Hey, you, do you want to be woke?
I know I do. I wake up every morning thinking, I would really want to be woke.
That's fantastic because I have a product that meets that exact need that you just articulated right then. It's a new book called The Babylon Bee Guide to Wokeness, and it teaches you how to be woke.
My entire life, I've asked myself, how are these kids these days getting so woke? And I know that there's got to be an instruction book out there, but there isn't until now.
Now there is, because this book teaches you how to be woke so you won't get canceled, so Twitter mobs won't come after you and ruin your life. You get to know how to choose your pronouns, your gender. Buy this book so that you won't get canceled. You can order it today.
This is Subscriber Dare.
This is from Thomas Bracken. He says he will become a paying Babylon Bee subscriber if we would only sing the Canadian national anthem.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and do that.
So
Are we ready?
I'll just kind of go for it, and you kind of will compliment me.
Well, I'll follow your lead.
And anywhere you think you want to add something.
Or if you want to like drum for us.
Me.
Okay, here we go. We're ready.
Oh, can you see by the geese early flight all the syrup we chugged at the yak's late night bleating, nor McDonald and snow and remodeling shows, Jim Carrey and hockey, milk in bags and Mounties. And Tim Hortons is there, and we think they have bears. Nickelback's pretty fair, and pretty Justin Bieber's dope hair. Oh, say does that maple syrup get so sticky? Or the land of Trudeau and the home of blackface.
Hey, why y'all make me sing? Why you make me sing that by myself?
We just left about the drive, man. That was beautiful.
I was into it, man, and I was like, hey.
I don't know if we want to record that third stanza, but we got the melody wrong.
Oh, this is the Canadian national anthem. No.
Don't be mad at me.
Right,
Trudeau did it. Did I say his name right? Trudeau.
Trudeau, yeah.
Ain't nothing true about him.
So we have sung the official national anthem, Thomas Bracken.
Now a
and
subscriber.
You now must become a paying subscriber. Let's do some weird news.
This news is weird.
Yeah, let's get weird.
Monkey belonging to University of Texas football coach's stripper girlfriend bites child on Halloween.
That's a mouthful.
So this past January, the University of Texas hired special teams coach Jeff Banks. And apparently at one point in his life, he had left his wife for a stripper whose name was Pole Assassin.
Pole Assassin.
And she is accompanied during her performances by a small monkey who gives her high fives and collects dollar bills. Wow. And she was once on Jerry Springer where she showed off her dancing skills and stole the show. So on Halloween, Coach Banks and his stripper girlfriend had a haunted house at Pole Assassin's home, and a child who had entered the haunted house made his way into the backyard where Pole Assassin's monkey was and the child was then bitten by the monkey. It's all coming together.
Now, there's that verse about how if you cause one of these a child to sin or something like that, like that's really bad. Can you cause a monkey to sin? Like if you have a stripper that has a pet monkey?
You have to tie 2 millstones around your neck for a monkey at that point.
Well, monkeys are more valuable, but at least half a millstone or something causing a monkey to sin.
Oh, I was thinking for the child.
Oh, the child.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But maybe
caused
monkey is half a millstone.
To be bitten by a monkey.
That's 2 millstones.
And it was a stripper monkey.
So it's 2.5 millstones.
Yeah.
So now does this kid have like a new monkey variant from that we need to wear a mask from or something like that? Bitten by
Adam said he might have Ebola and herpes, but I don't know if we can tell that joke.
I can tell that joke.
Actually,
I approve that joke.
Cool. That's herpes, man, because her name sounds dirty. Pole assassin.
Pole assassin.
Assassinate your pole with an STD or something.
I don't know if I'd want to see it. Never mind. I'm pole assassin.
Give me $1.
More scary. Give me $1 or else.
Oh, kill this pole right here.
Stick the monkey on you.
This could be a whole movie series. Pole assassin
with her monkey
stripper by
sidekick.
night, secret agent
every
by
which
day.
way but loose.
What?
That's the name of monkey movie.
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah, you got an orangutan.
Yeah. That's before my time. It's
Yeah.
older people.
Hey, Minnesota police got called to break up a bald eagle fight in a street fight in the street.
Oh.
So an officer in the city of Plymouth, Minnesota recently responded to a report of 2 bald eagles stuck together on a Plymouth roadway, but they were fighting. The officer consulted with the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources and the Raptor Center. Does that mean eagles? Raptors? The Raptor Center? It's a cool place. Which told him the eagles were likely in a dispute over territory. The officer said he was attempting to cover the birds' heads to calm them down when they decided to flee the scene.
Birds of prey are also known as raptors.
Okay, yeah. They briefly went at it again and then continued to fly away.
I'd like to think someone would apply to go to to work at the Raptor Center and then be very disappointed.
Yeah. Wait, where's all the raptors?
So here's to you, Eagles. America is awesome.
Bald on bald crime. I mean, it's shit thing to see, man. They say that the Eagles out there just locked up saying, you let go. No, you let go, bro. Let go, bro.
I want to
Who
hire
has the biggest talons?
I want to hire Zoe to be that guy that sits there with the microphone and just interjects.
Yeah. Isn't that what we've done?
Yeah, I know, but I want you watch the Late Show and there's the guy who always
the organ player guy.
Yeah, I want him to do that.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Can I be on drums?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do stingers for you guys, man, and then
And
everyone's-
Conan, that guy. I
Should
hated
have
that
gotten
guy.
him a little drum.
Yeah, little Hello Kitty kit. I'd be cool, man. Just see.
We have no drums here?
We don't.
You got a bass? We got an acoustic bass?
Isn't Adam's job to research?
Was that profiling? Did I?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Because I went to drums first. I also play bass.
Okay.
And I do play guitar. Yeah.
You look like you'd play bass.
Yeah. I
about-
got the fingers for it.
What's the latest in bear poop news?
Back to the doo-doo to save the show. Yeah.
Do your duty.
All right. So I get to do the bear. All right.
Yeah, you
man.
do the bear one, number 3.
I like that. If I had a spirit animal, I'd be a bear. I want to be a bear.
I got to give you my book.
Right. Okay. Bear breaks into unlocked car. Gangster bear. All right. Well, it was unlocked, so he didn't. Well, how do you break into an unlocked car?
That's true. That doesn't really count. I mean, well, I guess if it's not your car, is it still kind of breaking in?
True. Okay. Car in Colorado. Poops in the back seat. I think doo-doo is a much more effective word.
Doo-doo's in the back seat?
Doo-doo in the back seat. All right. And
Drop the deuce.
My wife is cringing so bad right now. She's like, I hate it when you do that. Every time you get a microphone in front of you, first thing you got to say is doo-doo. All right.
It's our fault.
Love you, honey. All right. The Aspen Police Department says a bear apparently opened a parked vehicle's unlocked door and climbed inside to shred the seats and tear apart the doors from the inside.
Well, spiteful.
Yeah, it's spiteful bear.
Yeah.
Right?
They wreck these cars.
Yeah, I figured they wouldn't do anything nice in them. If they're gonna do anything, I can't imagine a bear like being all respectful and stuff. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, like, Nickel Creek CD. Let's listen to this.
Let me see. And then the suspect left an extra special surprise in the back seat. Hey, boo boo, watch this. All right. The department said in a Facebook post using an emoji to indicate the bear had defecated inside the car.
Poop.
It's the poop emoji.
Bear poop.
Boo boo
Right.
left to doo doo.
Apparently there's a
Made
video.
him laugh really hard.
I don't know if that's I guess they can show a video of the bear pooping while we're talking here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's a honey of a
That's
story.
news.
that's something that happened. So, an 8-year-old was suspended 38 times for not wearing her mask at school. Based Fiona. Absolutely based. She just turned 8 and she's been refusing to wear a mask in school and she keeps getting suspended. And now she has missed so much class that she might flunk out of 2nd grade. She said, I'm doing this for other kids, not just myself. She is more brave
respect that.
than you.
Yeah. You sitting there with your mask on, all alone
there.
watching YouTube,
Watching the Babylon Bee podcast, hand sanitizer,
sitting
and
alone on a hill.
putting hand sanitizer on your rubber gloves, wearing a mask.
No, like, 'cause that's one thing I think about. Kids that are like, their earliest memories will be right now, like this time.
Everybody's faces wrapped
They're going to
up.
be terrified of taking a mask off in their life. Like they're going to think, and they're going to be terrified of faces. Like they see a naked face, and it's going to be like for us when you see a naked man like walk by or something, it's going to freak them out.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, go Fiona.
That's right. And you would think that the school would have picked up on, okay, you guys did this 38 times. And 38 times, nobody's caught COVID or anything like that.
She's fine.
She's fine. You're fine. But you keep, okay.
That's wild. Well, go Fiona.
Go
All right.
Fiona.
Right on, Fifi.
Where's the GoFundMe?
Go fund
promote it.
for Fifi.
Another news story. A guy jumped into a lake to get away from a swarm of bees, but then he got eaten by piranhas. So he did die, and so it's a sad story. Careful what you laugh at.
No.
But it's bad luck.
It's like a Donald Duck cartoon or something.
Yeah, well, so there's 3 guys. 2 of them swam away, and they're like, where'd the other guy go? Eaten by piranhas. Just horrible string
So I
of
assume
events.
this is like Brazil or something?
Brazil, yeah. That's Wednesday in Brazil, I guess. I don't know if that's like normal, or would you know? Would you be like, I don't know. I don't know if you'd be like, what do you think ahead of time? Do I want bees or piranhas?
Maybe
Because
just
I'm getting one or the other.
instant reaction.
It's just a reflex.
Yeah.
The officer almost dived into the lake, and then they're like, whoa, piranha. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Piranhas.
But yeah, he didn't survive.
Sad.
Definitely not funny. The irony is something that grabs you.
irony.
The irony does.
That's it.
But
That's the irony.
definitely not.
Not funny.
Not, man.
Why are you smiling so big now?
Because this tea is delicious.
Well, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Piranha Man.
I saw that show, what's it called? Kings of Pain, where they get bit by different animals. And stunned,
I don't know all the
and they
weird
like
shows you
rate it.
watch.
They rate it. It's kind of a new show.
Oh, really?
They tried to do piranha. Like he put his hand in a tank of piranhas. I think just one piranha. No, it was a bunch. And he had a bleeding, so trying to get him to, and they just wouldn't. He couldn't
really?
get him to do it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like,
So I
we
guess
know
it's
what you're
certain,
doing.
you got to catch him in the right mood, I guess.
A finicky piranha? What's up with that? No, we don't. Your diet. We smell
yeah,
your
we
diet.
just ate. Yeah.
Remember that movie they had back in the day, Faces of Death? And it would show like these. You ever hear that?
This is like pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
Or not
man.
YouTube, but other tubes.
Man, they showed a snake that swam into some piranha-infested waters, man. They ate that snake so quick that it stripped it down to the skeleton. That bad boy was still swimming.
Oh, man.
Who's up? Zoe?
So
Oh,
you're
so-
up
okay.
number
He
6
He gets
there.
another poop story?
This is planned, man. There's something planned about this. Okay, a broken broken toilet on SpaceX. A SpaceX capsule means, man, I need glasses, man. I'm gonna have to be
You
forced to
can
admit
zoom
it.
it, I think.
There you go. Now, but I got to be able to find the zoom button. Still
Control
need glasses.
plus.
No. A broken toilet on SpaceX capsule means astronauts will return to Earth in diapers. Oh man! The crew of the SpaceX mission, known as Crew 2, how apropos,
Number 2.
has been at the International Space Station since April and have spent nearly 200 days in space. But the astronauts aboard the SpaceX capsule coming home Monday will have an extra challenge to deal with: no working toilet. The former members,
Four members. Not
the
former.
Rachel Maddow makes this look so easy. How do you do it, girl? The 4 members on SpaceX Crew Dragon Endeavor will be wearing diapers as they splash down in order to prevent anything else from splashing too. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Now, is this the same group that made the space tacos last week? That'd be bad luck. They're like, oh man, we just chomped all these space tacos,
Guys,
and now
the
we go.
toilet's not flushing.
Luckily, we brought diapers.
Yes. I got. Do we have anything else for me to wipe my astronaut?
Where's his little drum set?
A little drum set.
His little Hello Kitty drum set. A doctor clinically diagnoses patient as suffering from climate change. We know what's wrong. Please sit down. I have something to tell you. You're suffering from climate change.
So they didn't go in and get a climate change.
What?
This isn't one of those weird surgeries.
Yeah. Climate transition surgery.
You were suffering from climate change.
So he was being treated for...
How does that work?
He was being treated for like heat stroke and breathing related issues. And they said, that's because of climate change. So they clinically wrote on the form, suffering from climate change.
So what's the prescription for that?
Like trillions of dollars in taxes.
Yeah, huge government.
Now, see, they wouldn't have a problem with climate change if they changed the wording on it. If they instead called it trans climate.
Yeah, the trans climate movement.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
And if you try to do something about it,
climate
then
is identifying as a new climate.
that's right.
It's our one joke.
Don't be phobic.
One patient who was identified as suffering from climate change had diabetes, heart failure, and also lived in a trailer with no air conditioning. So it's definitely climate change there.
But so doesn't it feel like they want to, like anything that you can classify as a disease, then you can do all these mandate things with, and you're like, oh,
Climate
change is a disease now. We better mandate a bunch of stuff.
Well, it's like here in California when they had all the failures with the power companies and not keeping the wilderness all swept up of leaves and stuff, and we had all these crazy fires, and they're like, climate change!
Yeah.
Anytime they can blame it on something else, Wonderful.
All right. 1/3 of millennials identify as gay or trans. According to a study of Arizona Christian University, roughly 30% of millennials identify as LGBT, including 39% of people ages 18 to 24. How many millennials we got in here? We got Kyle.
Me.
You're a millennial?
I think so.
Dan? We got 4. So there's someone in here is gay or trans.
1.5 of us.
1.5. We have 1.5 identifying in this room.
I was going to say that's.
Are they closeted or are they out? They identify.
You can tell us. It's okay.
Patrick?
Yeah, to be straight up. Yeah, who? If you had to guess.
What are we going to do? Pray for you? Don't be scared, man.
But is it gay or trans?
Wasn't the numbers like 1%, like three,
Yeah, it really
like 3,
changed
4%, 3-4% maybe gay, LGBT, 1% trans, like 30%. Like
Yeah,
that seems.
boom.
Come on, millennials. You guys are
Suspect.
slacking. You can do better than that.
They're like the frogs or something. I don't know.
I kind of feel like maybe this is a suspect study.
This is sus.
It's a little sus, as the Gen Zers say.
This quote from a doctor maybe or some person. This generation is redefining sexuality, their own and how to perceive and respond to the gender identity and sexual orientation choices of others. That was a sentence. The study also found that 48% prefer socialism over capitalism. A majority of millennials have a favorable view of Jesus, but believe all religions are of equal value. Mm-hmm. Man, these guys are terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's your generation, Kyle. So,
Man,
right,
I can dig it, man. I myself am a big fan. I follow Jesus, man. I don't follow religion. So I kind of dig where they're coming from.
I'm reading the study right now.
okay, read that. Let's find the.
I would like to know what the question was that got responded to like this. Anyway, just continue.
Okay, you'll be doing a deep dive.
I'll do a deep dive.
Okay. So you can take number 8, Zoe.
Okay. Come here, 8. New York firefighters rescue naked man stuck in bathroom. Man, there's some doo-doo implications in here.
There's
It's
no
not in the
poop in
title.
this one.
Okay.
Well, maybe because he's in there for days.
Yeah, and he's naked. He's in the bathroom.
No, he's stuck in a bathroom wall.
Stuck in the bath. Oh, wow. Okay. Wall for several days, officials say. The Syracuse Fire Department responded just after 7:30 a.m. to the Landmark Theater after employees heard someone banging of the walls, off the wall. What was that movie? As the dude reads anything that's in the teleprompter or something like that?
Yeah.
I got to read the bad grammar too, bad spelling. All right. My subtle way of saying it's not my fault. All right. And yelling for help, the department said in a Facebook post, firefighters with... Did
you say firefarters?
I did. I did.
I made that joke with my 4-year-old just the other night when firefighter. He loved that. He was dying laughing.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister. All right. Firefighters with rescue company 1 drilled a hole in the wall and used a fiber optic camera to find the man's exact location in the wall, the department said.
He's naked.
He's naked. All right. The 39-year-old man was not wearing any clothes because he was naked when firefighters freed him.
Oops, sorry.
So they are like, and so I looked at this story. There's no explanation for why he got there.
You know, that is rather interesting, man. It's
How did he get closed up into a wall?
He a time traveler.
Naked.
It's not clear how he was able to access the area.
Like Terminator, because Terminator, he'd be traveling naked, like time traveling naked.
Yeah.
Show
Time
up.
travel.
Yeah, because that'd be time travel. You could show up in stuck in a wall. And you
Totally
didn't
stuck in
know.
the wall. Oh, somebody miscalculated.
Is that what happened here?
It sounds like it.
I like the picture of the firefighter with the sledgehammer that's about to break through.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, not there, no.
All it says is it was not immediately clear how the man was able to access the area behind the wall.
Yeah, that would be a mystery to me.
And they don't. It's just a mystery. So I guess someday we'll figure it out and be like, oh.
He had to have like fallen down there or something.
In the future, one day we'll have somebody time travel back, and then they'll not come back and be like, oh, is that he's in a wall back in the past now?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell, the study just said, thinking about your life and commitments, would you describe yourself as LGBTQ? And 30% said yes, and 70% said no. So it might have just been a weird selection thing. They only interviewed like 500 people
500. Wow, that's a.
out of like 350.
Were they all like in?
And they were all in San Francisco.
Yeah.
News. Oh, we got one more. This is a world record.
All right, go Kyle.
New Zealanders dig up 17-pound potato, name it Doug, and it will soon crush the Guinness World Record for largest potato. About Brian Stelter.
Yeah, Brian Stelter is
He's bigger
probably
than
more than 17 pounds.
Yeah.
Owned. New Zealand.
Brian Stelter owned.
I don't know if we need to read all the details here.
They
The
built-
record
they-
holder was 11 pounds, so they did crush that.
It says that they found it.
Yeah, so I don't know if they get to.
They
you get
eventually-
credit for just finding
It
it.
says they eventually came to realize it was a potato that must have been growing there for a couple of years.
Wow.
Hey, look, there's a giant potato.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Potato.
Hey, that was weird news.
That was.
You want to do some leftist memes?
The bee or not the bee? That is the question I ask myself every morning as I drink from my the bee or not the bee mug. Now you too can drink from this amazing coffee cup and ask yourself the same question. Which is better? It's so hard to decide. In fact, I would say it's absolutely the Babylon bee, but not the bee is pretty cool too. Enjoy this mug.
Can the left meme?
So we know that the right sucks at comedy.
The right is terrible at comedy.
We also know one of the best things you can do if you want to get better at comedy is analyze comedy,
And say how unfunny it is.
how unfunny it is.
And break apart jokes.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
And you should definitely, in order to make yourself feel better, is find like the worst jokes and go
The other
look
side
at
would
those.
say, look how terrible this is.
Yeah. So
I do not like this joke.
we will take a cross section of some of the greatest of the memeage of the left. We will just try to understand it and get some ideas.
We will once and for all answer the question, can the left meme?
And if you have any good left-leaning memes you think could send them to us. We'll analyze.
All right, here we go. Okay, so we have on the left people that I think represent like...
Do you understand that line at the top of it? Fixed this Truscumi meme?
I think there was another meme that was
that a
making
word?
fun of the left, and they edited it. Trans.
Oh, is that maybe the person's name, maybe?
Truscum? What's Truscummy? Truscum?
It might be a bad word. I can't tell.
Scummy.
Maybe it was someone else's meme. I don't know.
True scum are trans people who delegitimize the gender of... A trans medicalist is a person who believes that... Okay, so it's people who say that you can't just say, I'm trans. You have to have medically diagnosed and then move on to
Those
transition.
jerks.
Yeah, so they're very exclusive. Like, you have to be trans, you have to be... actually have gender dysphoria to be trans.
They're like science elitists.
Like, I can't just... If I were to just say, I am trans, I am the 30% of
They'd be like,
millennials.
prove it.
They were like, yeah.
I want your documentation.
Right.
Show me your trans papers.
So we have the pronoun gang on the left here with the pink outfits,
Okay.
I think.
This is going to take a while.
I go, pray for me as I go on this journey to read this leftist meme. I go by rot/itch/gore self. We understand that these pronouns are not common and that it will take some time to get them 100% right, but as long as you respect us and our identities, we will get along. What are your pronouns?
So that's set up now. Let's get to punchline.
And then I think this is the normal trans community.
Okay.
And they say, the normal trans community. And they say, that's cool. We are glad you have found pronouns you are comfortable with. I use she, her, and my friend with the short hair uses he, they.
Funny.
Okay.
It's good.
Cool. Yeah.
It makes a point.
That
It really.
That didn't clear up a dang thing, man.
Do people actually go by gore self?
Gore self.
That sounds like it's short for something.
How do you say that to somebody? How do you use that in a sentence?
Well, so you would have to be referring to them in the third person, right? So
the way you'd say yourself,
Gore is over there buying Gore's self a taco.
herself, yourself.
Yeah.
They can go F gore self.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm trying to
Trying to
think.
give a simple example, and that was more.
Break gore self.
Check Gore self before you wreck Gore self. That's what it is. Okay.
What a rotten itch. How do I didn't even tell what those are replacing?
Gore.
Like he, her,
He, her. I don't know.
rot.
Replace.
Rot's all that.
Do not stare too long until the leftist meme or the leftist meme will stare back into you.
All right, here's one we got. Sarah Connor from Terminator fame. Are they like her? Probably because she's very feminist, or maybe I don't know.
Well, let's see what the meme says.
Okay, let's read it. If women took up arms to defend their reproductive rights, the GOP would ban assault rifles yesterday. Would we? Are we the GOP? But would they? Or would whoever is?
I'm trying to figure out how that would work.
So okay, wait. So she's like, I'm going to defend my reproductive rights. So this saying so in order to get an abortion, they would like just start shooting people,
Well, actually, just shoot the kid.
and then we'd be
guess,
like,
yeah.
ban guns.
Yeah.
Owned. I feel owned.
Do we do it?
I would like to applaud this leftist meme for just using one line, though.
That is
pretty
it's nice and brief.
Nice and brief.
It does seem like it implies that any gun crime that happens right now, we're totally for it, though. Which is always implied, like, oh, you like all this gun violence.
Yeah. There's a straw man thing going on here.
Little bit of a
Little
straw
straw
man.
man. All right, what else we got?
Sir,
Can we say this?
you got a simple one? Oh, yeah, I'm going to say this one.
Is abortion murder?
If abortion is...
If abortion is murder, is masturbation genocide? Man, they really don't know how biology works, do they? Right? You just switch around genders anytime you want to and all this. I'm gonna juggle my gender. I'll be whatever I want to. Now I can just go ahead and drop me a seed. That's and that's murder. For people who actually tend to do.
Did you say drop me a seed?
Let me go ahead and squirt this seed. Oh, I committed murder. Is it? No, that's not how it works. You know.
If you spill a bunch of tree seeds, is that deforestation? I don't know. How far do you take this?
I wonder if this meme is older than God because it is the old
Yeah, the old raptor.
Velociraptor.
Also known as a bald eagle.
Okay, so now we've got SpongeBob's meme here. SpongeBob breathes in, and then he says, "Riots and looting are a legitimate and profound form of protest against a system that values goods and services over human life."
I like how in a lot of these what legitimizes their point of view is this, that they like
that
are annoyed with you and your stupidity, and then they're looking at you like this and like
And that SpongeBob is saying.
Yeah, that's SpongeBob.
Can anyone do a SpongeBob voice? Can you do a SpongeBob?
That's a lot to absorb.
Riots and looting are a legitimate and profound form of protest against system that values goods and services over human life.
Absolutely nailed it. All right, owned. All right, we've got another one here.
The Bible Belt,
Shows the Bible Belt there on the map.
also known as gay porn belt, divorce belt, teen pregnancy belt, meth belt, food stamp belt, welfare belt, poverty belt, low wage belt, HIV belt, and the STD belt.
Okay, California's got competition. What?
I was thinking it's the everyone is moving their belt.
Yeah.
It's so bad that everybody is fleeing.
Ooh, let me catch me a gay hound bus and just cruise on down in Bible Belt. Yay.
I didn't realize that. Is that implying that America's pants are right there? Like they have two legs, Texas and Florida, like look like little kind of weird chicken legs, and then like, got pants on.
I don't think Florida's the pants.
It looks like Mickey Mouse pants.
Strange I can see that in there, yeah.
So you know what would have made this meme better if I can criticize it for a second?
Okay.
Is if you just picked one of those things.
Okay.
Because to just like list everything makes your point less. Like if you just said the Bible Belt and you said also known as the teen pregnancy belt. It would be it would hit a little harder.
Hit a little harder,
You
yeah.
make a very specific point rather than just laundry list. But let us not stare too long into the leftist meme. I think it's your turn, Zoe, if you want to read this. This is
birds.
more of a comic, but shared kind of meme style.
So we got the Partridge Family birds on here. And this is stop imposing irreversible changes onto kids, like puberty, That's what the second swerve.
And the other one got sweat shooting out of his head now.
It's like,
I've been owned.
He got me.
Yes.
I need to go home and rethink my life.
I love it. I love it.
Do you
Destroyed.
impose puberty on kids? I'm trying to think of when you impose.
Is this saying God is imposing puberty on kids or biology
God,
or
yeah.
something?
Who's doing this?
All right. See, this is the whole. That's what this whole thing speaks to me in that terms of. I can't change what I am. I was born gay, but in that LGBT things that you guys say that you can change what you are. It kind of goes
There's
against
an answer
itself.
for each one, right?
Yeah.
I was born this way, but I
also-
identify this way. But I identify as a woman. A woman is a strong thing that doesn't need to be a man. But then also she has to be a woman. But a woman isn't identified by these traits. But then also she is, because you have to celebrate it.
Yeah. How do you be pro woman if you want to be a man? And how do you be pro man and pro woman if you're okay with men replacing you?
It all boils down to you be you. They're trying to say that, right? Like just whatever you want to think and believe. You just believe whatever, right? That just seems to be the main.
And that's what it is.
Just
to
say
be.
that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's true.
It doesn't matter what's true.
All right, so now we have a girl proposing to a boy, it looks like. Very progressive right off the start.
Yeah, this is very
I'm glad you got this one.
cis.
And she says, do you want to do the boy, Ethan, and
Okay.
the girl? Yep. Marry me.
But I don't have a house, car, highly paid job, and high bank balance. We need romantic music playing during this.
Neither do I. Our generation can barely afford avocado toast. Capitalism is a cruel joke anyway, so we may as well try to be happy.
Right on. Want to go and seize the means of production?
Of course. I want you as my comrade, not as my ATM.
So are there like commie girls that read that and go like, huh? Is that like the leftist Twilight? I don't know what's going on here. I'm lost.
All right, what else we got here?
Okay, we got. I'm really confused by this one. It's so ironic how Westerners despise Chinese food because it's made from dogs and bats, but will at the same time love the same food when it comes from Japan. Now, to prove his point, he makes this meme: food, comma, China. F off, China! Stop eating dogs and bats. And then down here, OMG, I love Japanese food. Literally the same food, Japan.
Yeah.
Is Brandon here?
Somewhere.
Is Gavin here?
Gavin, Brandon, we need an Asian.
Asian in the building.
They went out for bats for lunch.
Oh, they're not. They went down to the bat kebab place.
Yeah.
Isn't it trying to point out whoever did this meme trying to point out some hypocrisy? Isn't what they just said totally racist itself?
Completely equating Chinese and Japanese food like literally the same.
Yeah, calling them saying
I don't even know what
Isn't
this
that like
is supposed to
being
be
like
making fun of,
Mexican food is exactly the same as Brazilian food?
You're calling all their food dogs and bat. Doesn't matter what they are. They all eat dog and bat.
Well, they eat scorpion and weird fish and
That's an interesting snack.
stuff.
I just want to say that this meme has completely changed my point of view, and now I will.
You think it's all
differently.
disgusting?
And I think it's all
It's all dogs and bats.
It's all dog and bat.
All right, we'll have to get Brandon's take on this later. He's an expert in food
And he's
and
Asian.
Chinese.
Zoe, I think it's your turn.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see how it works. Republican voters and Republican politicians.
So you have to kind of describe the image because of our audio listeners.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I don't know what's happening here.
Let me see. Trickle down economics, the top 1%, and in that first square, it's going to have a guy standing by. He's the Republican voter, and then you got
like a
Kim
worker
Jong.
guy.
Yeah, Kim Jong Il is squeezing some stuff. I guess some sort of squeeze.
Sort of like
Some goo.
yeah, what
or
is
something?
that?
It's like food or
corn syrup or something?
meat pudding or whatever. Republican, and he's the
That's
Republican.
money.
Yeah, he's the Republican politician. And then there's the goo, which is the trickle down economics, and that's the top 1%. And then the worker standing by, all emaciated and hungry looking, says, "Do I get any of this?" And Kim Jong Il is like, "No." And
Wait, I guess you can do that? I don't know.
I don't know what the rules are.
come on, no, I'm legit because I took Taekwondo for a long time, so
Okay.
I could. So I got my Korean cred, and I can do that. And then
Taekwondo Korean?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
all right. And yeah, that's it. And then other
That's
part,
it.
Yeah, you see
That is like a clear picture of like how someone on the left views
Like,
capitalism.
yeah.
that's sad.
I will say this this is the best of the memes so far.
It's clear.
There's a clear joke. And, you know, it's a
Their
clear,
idea
it's,
of it is a joke.
It's clear-ish. I think it's kind of weird, the image they chose, like there's a weird goo coming down because you're not like, oh, I want some of that, you know. But I don't know.
I mean, and to some extent, it is true of like pure economic, like greed, capitalism. Sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody who's for capitalism who doesn't have some idea of where morality should be, where it should come from. The thing that freaks me about the person that made this meme thinks that morality should be worked into a government system in this like authoritarian way.
Yeah. Which just ain't going to work because you just end up with a system of covetousness.
Let's make that meme. Somebody.
And isn't using Kim Jong-un who's like a communist as
Yeah.
the Republican a little weird?
It's funny.
Kind of
I know, and like the worker there, like
counter to the narrative.
All right, so now we have a Native American.
this looks like a Xerox.
Like a,
Yeah, Xerox.
it's a Xeroxed meme.
Xerox meme. This is a classic. Or
This
something.
one got passed around all the fax numbers. And so this guy is a Native American, and he says, so, you're against immigration? Splendid. When do you leave?
The easiest immigration straw man is saying people are against immigration.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody who's against immigration. It's always illegal immigration.
Sure.
They usually leave a lot of stuff out, man.
It's easier.
Again,
It's a little easier.
I applaud the meme for just
Simpler, yeah.
sticking to one line, making the point and getting out. But I like all memes. There's a straw man there. All right.
straw man. You guys got a little straw man. So wait. Okay. So this is SpongeBob acting mentally handicapped.
It's his
He's wearing
sarcastic SpongeBob.
That's what it's called. Sarcastic. Make America great again. We can't live in fear of a virus. That's like the dummy words. What do you call that when the text is all wonky?
That's
like
the
that?
sarcasm font. Yeah.
Sarcasm font.
Yeah.
And then you have Tommy Lee Jones staring down his glasses very smugly at you like a grandfather who's annoyed at the children making noise. No one said you had to. They said you should take the personal responsibility to protect the health of others, but that y'all lost it about that is telling.
Oh. Destroyed.
Yeah.
It's always a long, kind of
Yeah, it's like
long-winded.
the long, yeah.
Yeah. I feel I need some ointment.
I find it fascinating because for one thing, like I do feel like that SpongeBob thing is like the new way, politically correct way of making fun of mentally handicapped people.
I think it's supposed to just
It's
be
like that
sarcasm.
thing.
Yeah, it is that.
It is that, right?
That's true.
It's totally what it is.
Yeah.
And also like that they see themselves as like this, like in some complimentary good thing that they're like this, like, you know, this uptight, stodgy guy that's staring over his glasses at the children.
These children. These SpongeBobs running around.
Okay. We have a tent one here.
All right.
We got this one for you.
Wait. The hospital is over there. Why are you bringing me here? The hospital is for the vaccinated. Not to worry. The staff here, are Facebook and Twitter medical experts that you already know and trust. Okay.
So like saying that unvaccinated should just get treated by
Again, a
Twitter
tent
people
by
or
Facebook
something?
people.
I'm trying to like lost a little bit.
Okay.
Why are they wearing masks?
Too wordy. I like the idea. Too wordy.
All right, and finally we got a
Here we go.
SpongeBob again.
But when you think about it, Chappelle is actually geniuses. What? I don't get it. Is that what people are saying about Chappelle?
They say that when you think about
absolute
it?
Genius. But I don't know. Okay.
All right.
All right. I don't like Chappelle anymore. SpongeBob has convinced me.
Yeah, I don't want to be a cerebral palsy sponge.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us on this trek through the leftist memes.
Yes.
We hope this has inspired you and changed your mind on many important social topics.
Made me think.
Hey, it's time to let it zo.
Let it so.
I'm not holding back anymore.
We're just going to let Zoe, not hold back anymore.
Okay.
And just tell us what you think. You seem you had some thoughts on what are the problems with modern conservatism, sir? What are some things we need to? What is the message of AlfonZo Rachel?
Well, I guess I need a better place to begin, though. It's like, because there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot I see.
Let's pick one.
Let me pick one.
Let's start at one.
I think what the problem with modern conservatism is a lot of self-sabotage.
Okay.
I think conservatives, more than they're willing to admit, get roped in to a lot of the stuff that gets that's going on that they're very disgruntled about. And like I said, it's that part about being able to admit it and look at it and say, okay, yeah, we should probably do these things different. One of those things, especially when it comes to the biggest weapon that the Democrats have, is the race narrative. That's their biggest weapon. They're using that to just beat conservatives over the head with. And an example of what it looks like when conservatives sabotage themselves is when it comes to that narrative and they're thrown the accusation of systemic racism, white privilege, white supremacy. When those things come out, the defensive response of Republican voters in general, right, is no, there's no systemic racism. There is no white supremacy. There is no white privilege. I'm like, well, the dude in the White House right now is a total example of white privilege, right? And he's everything that the liberals are supposed to hate. He's a privileged, white, old guy, right? But he's their president, and this is what they fought for. But the thing is, and the reason why this is sabotage, and a lot of conservatives, they don't want to hear this. They don't like it. They actually get annoyed. But dude, this is the truth. If we're looking at how to get around this, don't allow the left to rope you into this one. So when they throw out the charge of white privilege, white supremacy, systemic racism, agree. You're exactly right. Who do you think's been doing that? There is, the thing is, when conservatives say that there's none of those things, they just wipe the Democrat slate clean. And they've got nothing to beat them with. Remember, that's their Death Star. That's the thing that they're beating America over the head with.
This is Star Wars.
This is Star Wars. Star Wars reference. That's right, man. Okay. That's right. Right. The Force is strong with it. And so, like I said, don't give the Democrats a pass on that. If conservatives deny that there's white privilege, well, that is the apartheid history of the Democrat Party. That's who they are. And if you say that there's no white privilege, you just wipe their slate clean. Right? Now you got nothing to beat them with. That's their biggest weapon. Democrats have been able to effectively use that to make Republicans out to be the bad guy. And there's nothing worse than you can be. So you can have Joe Biden basically walk into the White House under Trump's nose. Trump was supposed to go in and drain the swamp. Right? But because of the narrative that they put out there, because when you got Trump out there, man, and you got, going to NASCAR events, and you got the Trump flag, and the American flag, and the Confederate flag, that does not look good, right? Now, look, you guys, you want to wave the flag, wave it all you want to, but just do me a favor. If you're going to wave the Confederate flag, can you identify yourself as a Democrat, please? Because that's their flag. Democrats are so steeped in everything and controlling everything that they got people voting Republican out there waving around their flag. And I'm like, and it's like, well, it's not about race, it's about heritage, and it's about history. It's like, yeah, but it's got to be a heritage and history of something. And that heritage and history is tied to the Democrat Party. And when you got conservatives out there waving around the Democrat flag, it's like, then you wonder why people think the parties will switch sides.
So you're saying it's like we get too reactionary and we go, there is no systemic racism.
Yes.
There is no white privilege, rather than saying, yeah, those things exist, and then pointing out where they exist in there.
Exactly. It's like the statues. When you got conservatives out there saying, no, we don't need to take down the statues because where is it going to stop next? It's going to stop at this, and where's it going to stop? And we need to leave them up because it's about heritage and about history. It's like, okay, well, that's great. If you're going to argue to leave the statues up, which I think they should be left up, if you're going to argue to leave them up, make sure people know where they came from. That's
Chesterton's Gate.
G.K. Chesterton.
Right? That's all rooted, that's all rooted in the Democrat Party. But conservatives don't do that. They just say it's about heritage, about history, but it's got to be a heritage and history of something. So you got the Democrats, the elitists, depending on drones to get out to say, we need to tear this stuff down. Why are they doing that? So they can erase their history, so people can't tie them to that. So these are things, it's stuff like that where you have a lot of Republican voters are shooting themselves in the foot. This is the biggest weapon. It's like, that's not a very good use of the Second Amendment to draw guns on yourself and shoot yourself in your shoes. You know what I'm saying?
But it is my right.
It is your right, right?
I want to do that.
But it's things like that, man, and that's something that's understanding, because you got a lot of conservatives that are so sick of it. They're so tired of it. They're tired.
I feel like that's what Trump's rise was, right? Like he no longer was playing like, oh, but we're compassionate conservatives. Like it was more like sure, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, I'm racist, whatever. Just kind of like that attitude where it almost becomes like joke back at them, and kind of like, to some extent, that was a huge relief for a lot of people to see someone kind of just like shut him down like that. And I don't know, what do you think of that, the spirit of that movement? Is that the wrong direction? Because I always felt like it felt good, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know if this is a good direction long term to have this like kind of just a angry joking sort of attitude.
Yeah, it's because once again, it's a rebellious response, and it's just like you guys mentioned, it's reactionary, and you want to make sure that your response is measured. And it definitely wouldn't hurt to pray about responding first, because people like to say, I just say what's on my mind. I say, yeah, that's good. I can respect the person saying what's on their mind, but I also respect the person who want, maybe like pray about it, think about it, what to say, when to say, why you're going to say it, how you're going to say it. Those things, and I know it's like in the moment, but those are things that you kind of want to be practiced in the first place before you just go responding and stuff like that and willy-nilly and giving the left fodder. Because they're very good at taking things and twisting them up and throwing them right back at us and stuff like that. So, it's one of those things, consider what it is that you're going to say, how you would receive it. It's like, well, how would I receive that if I actually listen to it? Because there's a strategy. Yeah. And it's the funny thing about it, just to kind of answer your question, as conservatives, we're very pro-defense, And if you're going to be pro-defense, well, there's things that go into being a defensive faction. There's a strategy to it. You don't just like take a look at a campaign and say, okay, guys, let's just pick up some rocks and just go out there and just start throwing them back in. No, there's strategies in how you're going to set up your campaign to be able to respond to these, to wage a counterattack. But what we're seeing a lot now is a lot of conservatives that are pent up, they're frustrated, they're responding out of frustration while accusing the left of being the party of emotion. Right? You see a lot of conservatives responding out of emotion. Mm-hmm. This stuff has to be strategized, not just listening to, prominent, talk show blowhards, just getting people angry and getting them worked up and giving them a bunch of information and stuff like that.
You're not talking about us, are you?
Not necessarily. I mean, you guys want to talk to me, right? A lot of these cats don't want to talk to me. Right, so it's like I couldn't be talking about it because you guys can understand where I'm coming from. You knew what you were in for when you called me, right?
I didn't know.
I had no idea.
That hurts. No,
I love your shirt. The true rule book for radicals.
Yeah, that's right. See now, that's another thing, man. I hear a lot of conservatives. They keep calling Democrats radicals. Democrats are not radicals. There's nothing radical about them, and that's another reason why a lot of people think that the parties have switched sides. See, conservatives, they've bought into the whole Saul Alinsky narrative. They went into the trap. They're remembering Saul Alinsky, and now they identify Democrats as radicals. Republicans were founded as radicals, right? And the most famous radical ever is Jesus himself. Why give liberals the distinctions of who Jesus Christ was? Jesus Christ was a serious radical. He is the one true radical. He is the root. He's the core. That's what radical is. So as far as, Republicans calling Democrats radicals, man, everything that the Democrats are doing is antithetical to the Constitution and antithetical to the Word of God. And in the Constitution, even the Constitution itself refers to these as rebels, not radicals. Why don't we call the Democrats what they've always been? They've always been rebellious to the Constitution. That's what the Constitution calls them. When they had the Confederacy, rebels. Why don't we call them rebels? Why don't we understand that their objective is the same today as it was when they had the Confederacy? And socialism, communism, this ain't new. This ain't new. There's no radical communist. There's no radical socialist. Why? Because it's not rooted in anything. How do you satisfy somebody's selfishness? You can't. There's no root to it. So socialism, communism, slavery is all about being entitled to the fruits of somebody else's labor. So when I hear like conservatives calling this Democrat Party, this new Democrat Party, like this ain't new. Socialism ain't new. This goes way back. This goes way back. And so when conservatives do that and they address this Democrat Party as something new, they just erased everything that they did before. Like it drives me nuts when conservatives say, well, back in, your grandfather's day, the old Democrat Party, like they were somebody noble. They weren't noble. What, the party of Jim Crow? Revocation of civil rights, slavery, that Democrat Party that was so good back then, those guys. And then people wonder, yeah, I think the party switched sides. So a lot of times conservatives set themselves up for these things. And like I said, with calling them radicals, they're not radicals, not even close. They're extremists. Sure, they can be extremists. They're definitely rebellious as per what the Constitution calls them, as per what the Word of God calls them. But radical, nah.
Cool. Well, Preach it.
I was more just saying I like the colors.
Oh, yeah. Try to keep it basic.
Awesome. Well,
All right. Well, yeah, we
I'm
just have the Zo rant every day.
I want to do that every week.
Yeah.
I'm a
He probably
Zo,
does it on his YouTube channel, I'm guessing.
I'm a Zo disciple.
If you like that.
I'm a follower. I am of Zo.
Hey, to quote Paul, man, don't do that, man. You keep that on the Lord. Don't you get me struck by lightning.
All right, let's move on to some hate mail.
Yeah.
You know what the worst thing in the world is? It's when you're laughing at something and really enjoying it and you're not paying any money for it. That sucks. You feel really guilty. You're like, man, there's all these people that are like giving their lives to making this stuff and, you know, that's their whole job. And I didn't even give them any money for it. Now you can give us money. You can become a Babylon Bee subscriber and ease that guilty conscience. Go to babylonbee.com/plans. And for a limited time, you can insert the promo code podcast and you get 10% off. It's not 7%. It's not 8%. It's not 9%. It's not 11%. It's not 12%. It is 10% off your subscription. So go to babylonbee.com/plans and subscribe. That's what enables us to continue making all the amazing content that you enjoy 24/7 right into your brain.
I really miss Adam Ford.
All right, so we have mail from someone named Laverne. Laverne.
Laverne. Yeah, I used the
I
Laverne.
always thought Laverne was spelled like with an E and then a capital V. And
Is that his way of saying he can go either way?
Oh, you're thinking like Tavern with an L?
yeah,
Laverne.
Laverne. I think Laverne is probably correct.
Laverne.
All right, so Laverne says, "Hey,
Snot.
heads, in order to be a smart
Donkey.
you have to first be smart, which is something you arrogant, whiny, snot-nosed little
Flower
are
bed.
seriously lacking in. You sorry
Ivermectin. Ice
they're
cream.
nothing but a watered-down, more racist version of the Onion. And don't get me started on those."
Porpoises.
I was going to say more racist. That means that they're a bit racist over there.
Oh, so he doesn't like the he doesn't like the
Yeah,
Onion
don't
either.
get him started.
Look,
Fake news.
you
Flower bed.
do not get to speak on
Snot.
wokeness while you hem and haw and hide behind code words because you
Jackwagon.
are
Bigfoot.
too chicken
Snot.
to call out your own people. Destroyed.
Wow.
That was like a
Some
leftist
pent-up
meme.
feeling there. Yeah, that was.
Can I just make an
Just
interjection?
add the raptor.
Yeah.
Can I just make an interjection really quick? He says that to call out your own people. Well, he's going to be disappointed after this show.
I'm sure he's an avid watcher of the podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, is Laverne a man name or a woman name? Laverne and Shirley were girls.
That's what I was thinking, a girl. Yeah.
Laverne.
Yeah.
This is a woman?
Laverne.
A woman with this voice?
That's not very ladylike,
You kiss your
Laverne.
father with that mouth?
His name indicates fluidity. I'm just going to...
Laverne. Yeah, it could be a
Could be gore self,
Gorself.
rot, itch, gore self.
The rotten itch.
Itch is a pronoun. Oh, my goodness.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to jump into our subscriber lounge. We have a video question or comment or something from a subscriber. We got subscriber headlines of the week. We have bonus hate mail, including a 1-star iTunes review, and we're going to ask Zo the 10 questions.
Oh, man. Buckle your B-belts.
Buckle your Chester belts. Here we go.
If you want to get in, you got to just click that join button or babylonb.com/plans. So do it.
See you guys next week. Make sure to check out Zo's stuff. Bronze Serpent.
Zo. Bronze Serpent.
Bronze Serpent Media, right?
We'll
Yes,
link
sir.
it. It'll be
We'll link
linked
it.
in the
It'll be in the
description.
link. Check it out, people.
Coming up next for Babylon Bee subscribers.
We have a video.
We got a video. This was sent to us by our beloved Babylon Bee commenter, Pure Tige. For one, have you ever met Carmen?
Yeah, I'm going to pop in and wave.
And then wait. We need right-wing memes, not left-wing memes.
Wow, that's like 10 hairs.
Bro, I just want to remind you that body fat, middle age, and religiosity have a negative correlation with testosterone.
Does that count as testosterone shoes?
That's pretty testosterone.
Wondering what they'll say next? The rest of this podcast is in our super exclusive premium subscriber lounge. Go to babylonb.com/plans for full-length ad-free podcasts. Kyle and Ethan would like to thank Seth Dillon for paying the bills, Adam Ford for creating their job, the other writers for tirelessly pitching headlines, the subscribers, and you, the listener. Until next time, this is Dave D'Andrea, the voice of the Babylon Bee.